At least it was one, then the other, then the other.
It looked like the same time on my end.
We'll go with it. Sure. Absolutely. Party. Hola y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay. Thank you. I just finished my first pumpkin spice of the season. So I am now just drinking water because I'm sufficiently caffeinated and hydration is very important.
Great. And hello. Oh, well, if that's basic we are because I too am just drinking water.
No. The pumpkin spice is basic.
Okay.
Oh, well.
after Lana does her intro, David.
Well, then. Hello, and hello. Oli. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. And like I said, yes, I am drinking only water, not the basic pumpkin spice latte, as David puts it. But if I was drinking some kind of latte or something, I would probably be drinking out of my cup mug. Cup mug. Because we all have cup mugs. So you should get a cup mug too, because all of us have one and we're cool people, and you should be cool like us.
Peer pressure
Indeed. Get a cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. You can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch that we have available to you right now at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Yes, I said it twice because I wanted you to hear it twice. And we ship internationally, so there are no excuses.
What was that link again, Lana?
LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. Period.
And I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I have a gorgeous shirt, in fact.
You do.
I am wearing one of the most beautiful queens to ever be on RuPaul's Drag Race. It is the one and only Courtney Act.
Courtney Act.
Yes, I love this shirt. And today I am drinking something not basic.
Ooh.
I'm drinking a Voltage Mountain Dew, or as I call it to my friends, a blue. When I go to a gas station, I'm like, I gotta go get a blue or an azul.
Oh, all right.
On the topic of pumpkin spice, I will let everybody know I did not just get pumpkin spice in my coffee today. I got a nutty pumpkin iced coffee. Thank you very much.
Totally not basic anymore.
Totally not basic. It's pumpkin spice and hazelnut. Thank you very much, David Healy. But no, it's incredibly basic. I'm aware.
I mean, spice is a good thing to have for this episode.
Because Picante.
Yes.
This episode was anything but Picante. By being honest, it was an episode. It was a good episode. But
I personally enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying nothing spicy happened.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, we come back in after the top 2 lip sync. No one goes home. And everyone is like, no one went home. It's still a top 5.
But then reality set in and they're like, but maybe that means it's a double. Maybe it's 2 of us going home next time.
Scandalo.
And then you know what else they thought? They thought, oh, maybe I should subscribe to the Cup podcast.
That was good.
That was a good part.
Really good.
That was a good part. That was my favorite part of the episode.
That was a good part of the episode.
When they said they should subscribe to the Cup pod, I was like, yes, that's the most favorite part of this episode to me. So you know what you should do? Subscribe to the Cup pod because they did it. You should do it too.
Allegedly. Everything is alleged information. It says so in the banner.
It says so in the banner. I mean, I heard it. I don't know what you all were hearing, but I heard it. Obviously, David heard
Our
it.
Spanish isn't great, so
right. But that's what I thought it said. It translated it to me was subscribe to the Cup podcast.
I was going to talk about how the subtitles have been absolutely atrocious this season, but I won't say that because it said subscribe to Picante. Anyway, we come in the next day. It's a normal blah, 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 blah. Valentina walks in. And okay, I've talked about it all season, and I want to get it out of the way before I forget to talk about it because I probably will. I've talked all season about the way that Valentina is hosting this season. You know, obviously in tandem with Lolita, of course. But it finally clicked to me what I think my issue is with Valentina's hosting style.
What's the issue, dear?
Thank you so much for asking, David. I like her in the workroom. I think her workroom stuff is really, really fun. I think she's suffering from a bit of a similar situation to what we're currently dealing with Mama Pao on the Philippines, or at least I am, where she feels a little bit scripted in her like talking when there's like a challenge or like whatever. Because when they're doing like the mini challenges or when she's like giving critiques, she's very like free flowing and whatever. But when she's being told to say something specific, it almost, and it clicked for me this week, it feels like she's acting in her own telenovela while hosting this show. Which she kind of is, because Valentina is in her whole world. But like when she was announcing the lip sync this week, she was like, this is la última oportunidad por sorprendernos. And I'm like, okay, sorprendernos, I get it. Like, but it felt very telenovela for me. And I was like, okay, I get it, Valentina. Last opportunity. Sure. I think that's what it is. It's less that I don't like Valentina hosting. It's that I don't like when Valentina has to read off of a teleprompter hosting. And when she's able to just like be herself, and obviously it takes time. And if she is the host for the next 2 seasons of Mexico, that allegedly we do have confirmed that Mexico will be a thing through season 3 confirmed. If she is the host for the next 2 seasons, she's going to grow into that. It's first season like growing pains, as we've seen with several different hosts other than RuPaul. But it finally clicked to me this week. I was like, I think that's what it is for me. It's Valentina's telenovela, aka Drag Race Mexico, produced in the style of Jersey Shore.
Yeah, I think for me, I've kind of had my ups and downs with Valentina, but I'm at the point where I'm just kind of used to it and it doesn't bother me as much. It's only when she makes really bad judgment calls or you can tell that she's being like super subjective with, which obviously there's going to be some subjectivity for judges, but it's just when it's like, well, this isn't what I would do with my aesthetic. That's the only time she really bothers me. But overall, she's growing on me and I'm kind of getting used to her.
I don't think, yeah, I kind of agree with you, David. I feel like it's just not something that I picked up on, or I think we've been further along in the season now that I'm like, I'm used to it. It's okay. Right. And I think that's going to happen with me with Mama Pao. Like, it's just the first time, this is the first time I've seen it, and really it has already, because like the first episode, that's when it was like, what is that? Why so weird? But now we're at episode 3, 4, and I'm kind of like, I get it.
Philippines.
Philippines, we're talking about Drag Race Philippines. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay. It's not bothering as much as it did the first episode. So I feel like that's growing pains, and she'll get it. I feel like Valentina, as you all have said, has always been that delusional queen who's always lived in the Valentina world. And I think she's
a fantasy.
And we love her for it.
And I think that's what she's giving us. She's still in her French vanilla fantasy, and she's going to give us the overacting of what she's trying to say because she's living in her world. And it's okay. Live in your world, darling. Be you. It's fine. Same thing with Mama Pao. Be awkward, be weird, be you. It's fine. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. Agreed. So we get Valentina walking in, and then Lolita shortly after popping up from behind this thing, because
Again.
Everybody loves puppets
Puppet.
except Lana.
Especially Lana.
I was like, "Are we serious? More puppets?" And I'm like,
we told you it's a
Yeah,
staple
this
challenge.
is a very common thing.
Y'all told me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm guessing. For me, I guess I didn't realize it was all going to happen on the same week. I'm watching all of these drag races together. It's just the timing of it all.
It's a very that's kind of the effect of like so much drag race happening because when we haven't filmed our review of this week of France yet, but like this week on France was the makeover. Next week on Mexico is the makeover.
Right.
This week on Down Under was Snatch Game, and next week on Philippines is
Snatch Game. Right.
So it's like and we've never really had that effect of like I don't think we've ever had 4 seasons happening at once for this amount of time. I think we had like a week or 2 crossover last year. But we've never dealt with this. And so even for me, I'm like, oh, puppets again. I just saw them on France, but oh no, it's because this is separate and they're a week off.
Yeah.
Or Down Under in Philippines. So I'm like,
yeah.
Hey, like and
I'm sure we're gonna
have the same
I'm about to say we're gonna get the same thing with Brazil and Germany. So yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But I was like, oh, puppets again. Okay, I don't need to see puppets again for a while. This one was fine.
This one was not good.
But yeah, so we had so Gala had Lady Kero. Lady Kero had Cristian Peralta. Cristian had Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe. Regina had Matraka, and Matraka had Gala Varo. So
I had 2 standouts. I wrote down notes about 2 people while I was watching them. And one was primarily because they did a good job of making their puppet look like the person. And that was Regina. I really thought that looked so much like Matraka. I was like, okay, come on, girl. And then the other one I wrote down because I thought they were very funny. I laughed. And that was Matraka. Especially the thing with the ball hanging out for Gala. That was so dumb and funny.
I love
it.
And spoiler, they both win the mini challenge. I think I completely agree with you, David. I think Regina won for the likeness to Matraka, and I think Matraka won for having the best impersonation of Gala Varo. If I had to pick one, for me, it would have been Matraka.
Same.
I mean, I think Regina did Matraka well. Like, I thought she was funny. I did laugh at her because Matraka's very serious, very like, concerned about everything and worried about everything. And she kind of got it. And I was like, it's funny. But yeah, those are the only 2 that made me laugh. Those are the only 2 that should have won. If they were going to give one win, it would have probably been Matraka for me.
Yeah.
But could we move on? Because I hate talking about puppets.
We're not talking about puppets again. Hopefully,
we should make puppets for each other.
Absolutely not. No, I'm on Lana's side with that. Absolutely not.
Comment if you want to see us make puppets for each other.
It won't happen. I don't care how many of you say yes. It won't happen.
To be fair, if I had to do a David puppet, it would just be low scores.
Oh, I give high scores.
Low scores.
Medium scores. That's what it is. I'm very in the middle.
Anyway, but I would have to make fun of you, so it would be low scores.
I don't have a cute.
I never give anyone a ball.
I only have drag shirts.
Oh, you're both me? Dang it, that's not
okay.
fair.
No, I would never be. I would never be able to do it and be mean to David.
Oh, I absolutely would.
You could. I could never. Honestly,
it would be fun if I did. So I would do David's puppet. David would do Lana's puppet. Lana would do me.
I would do you.
Don't you dare put me backstage. Don't you dare. I am the resident diva.
Oh.
I will leave this podcast and never come back. And I can't believe you're making me watch all this Drag Race.
I can't believe you forced me to watch Drag Race.
Wow. I feel very attacked right now.
He's sitting here about to say who would win that mini challenge. It would be Lana. Because there's a lot you can make fun of.
Oh, I would, but I'm going to not do it right now.
You can. We did everybody else. Right, I don't care.
Well. I'm sorry, David, that you don't agree with what I have to say right now. I mean, I'm just trying to make my point known, but whatever. No, it's okay. You're fine. You're fine.
I'm gonna have to fight with this puppet of Logan again. Mr. Sassy Pants.
Oh God, I can't.
See, everybody loves puppets after all.
No, I still don't like puppets, but I know I like making fun of people. I like roasting people, but yeah, I don't like
a good laugh. So thank you, Lana.
You're welcome.
Genuinely. Anyway.
Because y'all got me. I was like, y'all got me. Because y'all got me. I was like, I felt very attacked.
This is the new Goofy episode. It only happens on Mexico because by the time we get to Mexico, we're just like,
I'm surprised you didn't say rest in peace, cactuses.
Speaking of, go check out our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok where we did post rest in peace, cactuses finally.
Yay.
Yep.
I finally got around to doing it. So.
And go back and check out our Mexico episode 5 episode of so you can see the origins of rest in peace, cactuses.
It's the other Goofy episode. It's episode 5, episode 1, episode 5, and episode 9. It only happens every 4 episodes on Mexico, apparently. But okay. For the Maxi Challenge, they are writing and performing their own stand-up comedy routine, which was interesting because the episode is titled Spicy Roast.
Spicy Roast.
Which we now know because the runway was Picante.
Whatever. But this wasn't even a roast. This was just stand-up comedy. I thought it was going to be a roast. What we just did was more of a roast than what they did.
Truly, we just roasted each. Well, the puppet challenge was more of a roast than this.
True.
Yeah, true.
Maybe that's why they
Maybe that's why Spicy Roast was for the puppet show.
Okay,
they forget about the main challenge.
I was looking at the Wow Presents Plus synopsis for a second because I'm like, I wonder what it said because I don't read them. It talks about the mini challenge bringing to light more than one truth than no one dared to say. In the Maxi Challenge, we find out who the true comedy queens are. That's all it says. So
Spicy was for the runway. The roast was for the mini challenge. Got it.
Okay, sure. So we're doing stand-up comedy. Matraka and Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, got to pick the performance order together. They each also won 9,000
pesos.
9,000 pesos, which I think is like $2,000. I'm doing that offhand. I didn't do the.
I don't think it's even close to that.
I don't know.
So they decide the order. The order for the roast the order for the stand-up challenge ends up going Gala, Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, Matraka, Lady Kero, and Cristian Peralta. And I would say Cristian's entire title because someone did put it in our comments for one of the more recent videos. It was like Transformista de la whatever. I don't know the whole thing, so I'm not saying it, but I would in this case. What did we think of the running order that was made?
I've made my stance clear in other podcasts. I don't think it matters. So I didn't have much of an opinion on it, to be honest. So just point of order. 9,000 pesos is $527.61 in American dollars.
That means for a normal mini challenge they only win like $1,000. Oh.
Oof. Well, good for you. That's more money than I have right now in my account.
More money than you walked into Drag Race having, because you.
I'll take that. I will take that. I will take that $527.61 right now because I need it in my bank account. Thank you. But yeah. So yeah, I feel like the order was fine. It was fair. I would have put myself in the middle too. I don't want to be first and I don't want to be last because if you bomb and you're last, that's what the person. But I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter because wherever you are, if you bomb, they go remember it. It's not like they go not remember what you said and what you did. So any place you put is bad. But to make sure nobody takes your jokes, being in the middle closest is better than being last, because if you're last and everybody come before you and take your jokes, and now you're sitting there like,
True. I think that would be hard in this kind of stand-up. Like if it was an actual roast, especially if it was revolving around a specific person, then I think you're more at risk of somebody taking your material. But this is so like open that it would have been like a crazy coincidence if somebody had done more than
it's literally just be funny.
Yeah.
Which, like, I like stand-up comedy / roast challenges like this a lot more than I do like a very, very like specific and honed sort of challenge. Because I really loved when they did something similar to this on All Stars 5, when it was just like, it's a stand-up routine, make us laugh. And we got some really good ones and we got some really bad ones. So I like a more open-ended challenge like this, because then I'm like, okay, I can do really whatever I want. And we kind of got a little bit of whatever we want happening from this runway.
So question to you both. How would you do in a stand-up challenge?
You can ask the same thing, or I was what would you do?
Look at us thinking alike. Yeah. But how would you do? What would you do?
I'm not sure what I would do, but I actually, for the first time last year, I did have to participate in a roast. It was for my friend's birthday last October. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm funny, but I ended up writing some jokes, and I'm just going to say I was probably the funniest person. So I kind of killed it. And then I did another roast this year and it went well again. So I'm like, maybe this is my hidden talent that I can roast people. So I don't know.
I mean, I think I would do better in a roast than I would as a stand-up comic routine, because like my family were like, oh, you're funny. Lana is so funny. Like telling stories, I can make a story funny. But I'm like, am I that good at making a story funny if I have to like put it in a routine? It's not just off the cuff and I just like think of something that's funny and then I just say it. No, I have to think of it. But then even that's a little bit of improvisation in when you're doing a stand-up comic routine, because if you think of something like that, you could just throw it in there. I don't know. I think I'm more better at like having a target. This is who I'm roasting. I can write down some jokes that I know about them that we can make it, about them. But yeah.
I absolutely agree. I honestly think if it was just a straight up stand-up comedy challenge, I think I would struggle. Because for me, a lot of my comedic timing comes from improv and being able to react to what other people say. And so if I
can't wait to see some of that eventually, some of your
like you've been funny at all.
Timing.
Like you've ever been funny on this podcast, David. There you go.
This is gonna be a roasting episode. I know it. I can't wait. I'm joining in. Okay.
Come on.
No, not right now.
No competition. Okay, Lana, go for it.
It's gonna come off the cuff, baby. Just keep going.
But no, like exactly that. Like I do better if I have other people. Like I feel like if I feel like my bread and butter in this kind of drag race scenario would be Snatch Game. Because I have my characters, I know what I'm doing, but I can also be off the cuff and like react to what the host is saying or react to like what the other people are saying. I think if it was a roast, I think I would do better. And I completely agree with you on that, because I'm like, if I have to roast David Healy, that's easy. If I have to roast Lana, easy.
Easy, but you're scared.
I'm not scared of anybody.
Look, you better be.
I was scared of Lana for a long time, I'll be honest.
Oh, no,
not anymore.
Not anymore. Please don't.
I know a lot about Lana. I can pull up a lot of just, ooh.
But you don't have to be. You don't have to be scared
I would never.
Me.
I would never. I just go after David. I'm kidding.
An easy target. Being the only white cis male on the panel.
Exactly. Done. Period. No, I think improv and Snatch Game and like a roast would be a lot better for me, and that's maybe the direction I would end up going with this. Or I feel very good with self-deprecating humor. So maybe if I had to do stand-up, maybe I would go that route. along the lines of what Gala Varo attempted to do. Keyword there, attempt for me.
I agree.
But I would go maybe that direction and see what comes that way.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, there's not. We get them rehearsing, kind of.
Yeah, this is where we find out Gala's going to be a dog. And I'm like, I was very concerned for her at first when I saw that she was going to be a dog. I'm like, what are you going to do with that for a roast? But this was when I was still expecting it to be a roast.
Yeah.
I was very concerned. We talked about it last week when we talked about what this was going to be. And we had people we said we were concerned about, and then people who we were like, not concerned about.
Right.
I was very concerned about Gala. And then when she started talking about being a dog, I was like, oh, my worst, the nightmare is coming true. Like, I'm scared for you. I'm so scared for you. And I was like, I don't know. But, and then we also said Regina, but then Regina, rehearsal with Valentina and Lolita, I was like, well, maybe I don't have to be as scared for Regina as I thought. I was like, she has good foundation. Let's see how she builds off of what she has.
And she was getting a good reaction from the judges, which was a good sign. And I'm just going to be transparent with our audience because I misread the subtitles, and Logan and Lana had to clarify. But her joke about I'm Italian on my mom's side, and I thought she said, and I'm Mexican on my dad's side. And I'm like, what's funny about that? Because they kept laughing at that. I did not catch what she actually said.
My dad's friend's side.
Yeah, I missed that.
And I was like, yeah. So when it happened, when she said, I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Talking about the full performances, that's kind of what sold me on.
And I was, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was, and I was also nervous for Matraka because I said that last. I was like, I don't know about what Matraka will do. And when she was rehearsing, I really got nervous. I was like, oh no, is it going to be that bad? Because I expected it to be bad. So this is the thing. I was like, I expect it to be bad, but I don't think so.
I like the concept that she presented to the judges. She wanted to really focus on her being in her 20s, everybody else is 30s plus. So I was like, okay, there's a lot of material you can work with there and really take like punches at the old people, just like Logan could probably do to Lana and I if they wanted to, but he knows better. Oh. Okay. But yeah, I saw potential there. I'll say that. I was a little nervous, but I saw potential.
We've seen that concept go very well on Drag Race before. So I was intrigued for what Matraka had to bring. So
yeah. And Lady Kero, like I was like in a rehearsal, she was killing it. I was like, I'm loving it. She's gonna be hilarious. I ain't worried about Lady Kero because I wasn't worried about Lady Kero even last week. I was like, I think she's gonna do great. Cristian, I was like, we said I was not nervous for Cristian. We're like, Cristian is gonna kill this. She gonna smash this. She gonna do well. And in that rehearsal, I was like, is this?
It's like the first true moment of weakness on this season for Cristian because she's just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't feel confident in any of the material. Nothing's coming to me. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. And I was like, oh.
I was so nervous. I was like, is this the week that Cristian has to go into the bottom because she's going to do so bad that they can't not put her there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what her runway looks like. It will not be enough if she bombs this challenge. Like, I was just like, oh no, and I don't want to lose Cristian because my draft will be, I don't want that for myself. But I'm like, oh, I was scared. I was so scared in that moment for Cristian.
I'll be honest though, I was not scared. Like literally as that was happening, I wrote down notes. I said, this reminds me of Jimbo pretending to be worried about a challenge, then slaying it, which we saw quite a few times on All Stars 8. But yeah, I just like, knowing how funny Cristian's been with any other like comedy bit, I'm like, why would you stumble with this? Like, this is something that you're naturally good at. So I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it.
I want to say as well, and it's something I believe Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, brought up. in confessional was that the time that Cristian had to do acting with a character or comedy with a character, she did very well. She did very well in the remember the pilot challenge? Remember that?
Yeah. I think like so long ago, but yes.
Remember that? When she did that challenge, she was really good and she won. And when she did Snatch Game, she did very, very well at Snatch Game. But when she had to be Cristian being funny, she flopped the reading challenge and she flopped the puppet challenge. And so I understood. I was like, oh, I am a little bit concerned for her because she, if she's being herself, we haven't seen her be Cristian and be funny. So I understood the concern, and I saw the concern from her, and I was like, I get it, I see it. But who cares about that? Because she didn't flop.
She gets some hugs out of it, though.
She got hugs, lots of hugs.
Yeah.
I just know somewhere Raja O'Hara was like, not her getting a hug from the host.
I know.
I mean, Lolita was like, "Can I hug you?" I was like, "Oh, that's sweet."
She got 2 family visits in one episode.
Can I just say, Lolita is one of my favorite queen hosts on a lot of this, on a lot of the franchise. Like, she's one of my favorites, and
we told you that you would love her.
I do love her. I love her a little bit more than I love Valentina, but I do love Lolita. She's one of my favorites. But you want to know who my favorite is right now? Out of the ones that I've watched, it's Nikki Doll. It is Nikki Doll. I live for Nikki Doll. I do. I live for Nikki Doll, and I'm a fan. I follow her on Instagram and everything.
Yeah, what's weird is that of the contestants who have become host, Nikki Doll was by far my least favorite as a contestant.
Oh, yeah.
I
agree with you.
Yeah.
But she's so pretty.
Between Brooke, Rita, Nikki,
Lolita, Valentina.
I would absolutely agree with you. However,
I do like Brooklyn Heights stuff. I haven't seen Brooklyn host yet, but
you sure will soon.
Was their hosting UK, right? Oh, Canada. Okay.
UK is hosted by RuPaul.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So Ru hosts Down Under, US, obviously, and UK.
Cool. Good to know. I think those would probably be the ones I would want to host too, if I was RuPaul. Yeah. Fair. Go ahead. Yeah. English speaking, of course, English speaking places.
Minus Canada. And
Canada, but they have their, makes sense.
Yeah. Let's talk about the challenge.
Yes, please.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do. But first.
There's one thing I did. Sorry. There's one thing I did want to talk about. And that's this evil ex of Gala. Gala had an ex-boyfriend.
Yes!
That was the Emmy moment.
That was the Emmy moment. Yes.
Yeah. He said that he likes Gala more than Gala out of drag. And I'm like, that's really messed up. Like, that's probably the last thing somebody wants to hear. And she even talked about how she's had issues of resentment for her character of Gala. And I was like, I'm so sad for her to have to hear that.
But you know what? It's as sad as that is, I can understand how that balance could be confusing to the queens, because you have to be your character in so much. And if people adore your character, but they don't know who you are out of drag, or if they do know you out of drag, it's hard sometimes for people to differentiate the character to the person, because just like we do on TV, we see our favorite people on these TV shows and we love them as the character. And then when we see them out, if you ever see them out, you're tempted to be like, Mercedes, not Amber, or, whoever your favorite person is. You want to be like Lolita, but she's out of drag and she's not Lolita. She's, whoever she is. And it's like, so you don't, it's a balance that they have to come across. And I feel like anybody who has an alter ego, anybody who plays on a TV show or is a character, have to have a balance that people don't know you as a person. And they tend to fall in love or like the character of you, and you have to be like, I don't know. That though is cruel for you to be in an intimate relationship with somebody who you know out of drag, and you like, I prefer your drag artist more than I prefer you. That's sick. That's sick and cruel and mean, and that he should be ashamed of himself. But that conversation also led into the balance of Cristian talking about how out of drag he's a father and a husband, and people talking about how hard his wife has to deal with how people judging him, being, is he gay? Is he this? Whatever, what is he? And he's like, I'm pansexual, so I love everyone. And it's just crazy. I think people it's interesting. I feel for people who have to go through that balance and deal with that balance and figure out if people really like them for them, or do they like them do they like the character of them? You know what I mean? And that's, I would have punched his boyfriend in the face. I still want to punch his boyfriend in the face, because how dare you say that to Gala Varo? You don't. And I'm sure in and out of drag, she's a lovely
Look how far
person.
we come. Lana is over here standing up for Gala Varo.
I am. I know. And I will do it because I feel like that's so cruel. I want to punch him in the face. Point him out to me, Gala. Point him out to me, and I will punch him in the face for you. Boom. Anyway, I'm done.
Valentina.
This is one of my favorites that she's had all season. It's so good.
I think is my favorite.
She looks good. She looks really good in this. Really good. I think Lolita looks good too, but I like Valentina. I think Valentina got it.
She looks okay.
She looks good. I think Valentina definitely won this one. I don't
like the tool around Lolita's waist. I don't get that. It cuts her off in this weird way. I don't like it.
This is giving me a little bit like season 2 of the American Drag Race, a little bit. Like it would be good for that time, but now it's like the standard's higher.
Yeah.
But I have a big brain theory, a very big brain theory as far as Valentina's look goes. So I was like, oh, flower. We've seen you wear flower before. When did we? Oh, we saw you wear flower during a roast. Oh, are you doing an homage to that? The roast of Michelle Visage. Oh, look at your hair. It kind of looks like Michelle Visage. Are you doing an homage to when you had to roast Michelle Visage and you wore flower on the runway that episode? Here's a picture of it. I pulled it up. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but
it could be.
It's probably a coincidence. It's probably a coincidence, but I just had that like crazy theory, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with it.
I don't think it's a coincidence. I think she did it on purpose.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with your theory. Work.
We kind of have already talked about all of the performances in a way.
I still would like to talk about them, how they went.
Of course you will, David, because David always has to talk about everything. I have an opinion about everything. Okay.
And I need to make sure my opinion is heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, Gala starts out, and this is where I was confused. So my judgment of her was not fair in the moment because I'm like, where's the roast girl? And the judges were laughing. But I'll be honest, I wasn't quite getting her jokes. And I think for me, probably some stuff got lost in translation. And I'm not a fast reader. I read at the same pace that I speak. So some of these people speak fast and I could not keep up. She wasn't one of them. I was able to keep up, but I still wasn't quite getting it. So I liked that she had a concept, but it didn't fully work for me.
I didn't get it. I thought she looked adorable, but that's about it for me.
Oh, and she kept like encouraging the judges to react.
Laugh here.
And I was like, you shouldn't have to like do that. But they seem to be having fun with it. Yeah. That's my thoughts on Gala.
Yeah. Okay.
Regina Voce.
Again, David, you go ahead. Too fast for you, huh?
Yeah, it was very fast for me. And like I said, I didn't initially get her joke until Lana and Logan explained it to me. I liked it, and I could tell that everybody in the room was really enjoying it, but it was just so fast for me. And I think that the best type of stand-ups, like you gotta have levels, you gotta have breaks for people to laugh. It just can't be like blah 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 blah. And that's kind of how I felt with her. Like it kind of felt like whiplash to me. She did well, but I don't know. I would have liked a little more balance, highs and lows, you know?
I mean, I laughed with Regina. I laughed. She made me laugh. I thought she was my second favorite because I laughed with her the most. One of the most.
I loved it. I thought the entire parody of her getting a call from RuPaul was the single funniest thing I heard on that stage. Like, was Cristian a little bit more consistent with her comedy? Sure. Did Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, have the best comedic pacing and timing? No. But I think in this scenario, for me, I liked that it was very quick because it felt like, oh, I'm telling my friends this story, and that's how I would tell my friends this story, with like the little anecdotes she did in the middle, and like the way she paced it and the way that she presented it, I found incredibly funny, and she was my favorite of the week for that reason.
Okay. We move to Matraka.
Matraka. Okay, I did enjoy Matraka. I think I enjoyed it more than the judges. She started off kind of talking about being discriminated against for being a brown girl, like a darker skinned girl in Mexico. And I like that when somebody can incorporate like serious things they've gone through into their comedy. And so I thought she did a good job. And I got super annoyed. I'm going to jump ahead to the judging part where they were like, you just complained a lot. We don't want to hear complaining. I'm like, shut up. She should be able to talk about like real things she goes through and be able to laugh at it. So I don't know. Maybe I missed something with the translation there, but I was like, why are you all like harping on her complaining? So
Logan, this is where you put the banner up for me.
Oh.
Because I had a small rant.
Oh, I
know you're not ready, but this is where I did have a small rant. Because
that banner.
Yeah.
I didn't know which banner you were talking about at first.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't mention it earlier, so it's okay. But it is a Lana rant, just a small one. Because you mentioned that, David, that they were like, she's complaining. And I was like, you white people would say she's complaining. You would tell a brown girl that she is complaining about what actually is happening in her life. And because you don't understand it and you don't get it, it's now her complaining. What? Like, did I find Matraka's comedy super funny? No, I didn't think I wasn't falling out laughing at it. But I thought it was poignant. I thought she made good points. And I thought it was okay. But I didn't find her to be complaining about the situation that she's in and what happens in her life. That's just, baby, I was so annoyed with that statement alone. I was like, how dare you white passing people? Because I don't want to, because a lot of people are like, we're not white, we're Mexican, or we're whatever. You're white passing.
And there's a lot of white Mexicans. So.
Yes. And they know this, but they don't want to say that. They're like, we're Mexican. We're not white. You're white Mexicans. It is what it is. And so for them to just crap all over her experience was rather annoying, rather disheartening. And if she would have went home, I would have been pissed. I'd have been like, you go send her home on this after you totally dogged and just discredited her feelings and invalidated her. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was very mad at that. When they said it, I was like, excuse me? Complaining? Stop it. Absolutely not. Yeah, okay, I'm done. Thank you.
I don't think there was any universe where Matraka was in danger of going home, realistically, because she was very solidly, for me, the third best. I don't think it was great by any means of the imagination, but I thought the jokes that she had were solid. And that's really all I can say about it. Yeah. It was solid. It was fine.
Yeah, I'll just say she was my second favorite. I did like her better than Regina. I'm sure what Regina was doing was funnier, but I couldn't keep up with it. So I thought there was more balance with Matraka, so that's why I liked it a little bit better.
Sure.
Oh, Lady
Kero. Oh, I did not expect this. I did not expect this to happen on this stage. She totally flopped.
I did expect this a little bit, I'll be honest, only because she was funny in the workroom with Lolita and Valentina, but they both were kind of like, I don't know about this character. And she leaned so heavily into the character of it. And I think Lolita and Valentina were kind of like, but the character's not that strong. And I think it was ultimately her demise.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know why she needed a character. There was nothing that she was saying that she couldn't have said as herself. I don't know. Maybe it was just her way of like feeling more comfortable by taking herself out of who she is and presenting it in a slightly different way. But even like the jokes, it was a lot of like, it started out with like poop and fart humor. Sure, that can be funny. It can
when
be. It's
done
very
well,
difficult.
It can be very, very funny. It just wasn't with me.
It's stuff we've heard so many times, and it's like the lowest common denominator of humor for me. So it didn't work, and I love her. And she's come a long way. Like I really noticed in the workroom, just her interacting with everybody. She's loosened up so much throughout this season. Like she's just out of a shell that she started out in. She was so demure and like, I don't know, quiet and passive in the first half of the season. So I really like that she's broken out of that box a bit.
Agreed.
And then Cristian. That my favorite. I thought she was great. She made me laugh. She was vulnerable and she was open and she was funny all at the same time. Like it was like she just told a story. She just told the story of her life and made it funny and it was good.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it was not even close. Like, sure, other people had their moments, but for me, Cristian just nailed it. Especially when you can take something so personal, which Matraka also did, but I felt like she had more room to make this funny, and just to give like the highs and lows that I wanted to see from Regina. She made it emotional at times too. It wasn't just one note throughout. But also when she first came up, I'm like, oh, is she about to do this as Mariah Carey? Because she looks so much like Mariah Carey to me. I know she does makeup as Mariah sometimes.
Yeah, one of her celebrity impersonations she's known for is Mariah Carey. So, but yeah, I thought this was good. It was good. I can't say it was bad because it wasn't. For me, the story of Regina's routine for me was just a little bit better. But it's not discrediting Cristian whatsoever because I think she's very good.
And I'm wondering if maybe part of that is that a lot of what we heard from Cristian in the story, we've heard several times throughout the season.
That
like
might have been
it's not new to us.
Now that you say that, I think it might have been a scotch, but
But I think she was trying to present this as if it was to a brand new audience. And I mean,
and to be fair, the judges haven't heard this. So, it makes sense why she wins. It does.
And she looked great too. I thought she looked so good.
She looked incredible. Category is Picante. Ooh. And first up, Matraka, Traka, Traka. Sorry, David.
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about this. So
Yes.
I did like this a lot. If anybody has followed me on podcasts, you all know
I don't like a nude illusion.
I don't typically like a nude illusion.
But when it's done right and when you actually matches your skin, that's the beauty of being a colored girl, because the nude illusion can actually match your nude body.
Well, I will say it did not match perfectly on the neck. It was pretty close.
I'm about to say, David.
Would have loved to see Matraka come out here and just show us like body, like real body. I don't know her comfort level if she would want to do that, but I think this would have looked really cool on her natural body. Obviously, she would need something to cover up certain areas.
She gotta cover stuff up. What's supposed to come out naked?
But I still really like it. Look, I found out she has a boyfriend this episode, though. So
I'm so sorry.
No, but I do like the concept a lot. Like those as veins, like that's so dang smart. I really like that. Yeah, and I love the cape that she just carried along with her. She really can't do any wrong. Like I'm nitpicking because I've been loving her all season, so I gotta I gotta find some nitpicks. You all know I love Matraka so much.
This look is everything. This look is perfection. This look is beautiful. It's so, and like I saw the nude thing, and I was like, David, go say something about the neck, and I'm like, but it was the closest that it could possibly be to her natural skin. That it was flawless. It was so good, and from this distance, looking at this picture, you would not be able to tell that was a nude bodysuit. It was just when we got up close and they were all up under her neck, like, get away from her, stop doing that, so we can see the flaws. But it's so good, and the fact that she was like, that's the heartbeat and all the veins coming out all over the body, it's so dang good. And that cape was just beautiful. She could have went with it or without it, and it would have still been just as good. But the cape with it made it just, it's good.
I don't know. She didn't have earrings,
right? Oh, God, please.
That was my Valentine.
I'm about to say, I know Valentine.
I like the heart earring, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, honestly. I didn't mind.
There's
so much other to focus on, so I didn't mind.
Well, and I'm going to say it. Dark-skinned queens have a very hard time finding a nude illusion that matches their skin tone.
For sure.
So I'm not going to say a goddamn thing about her nude illusion.
For sure.
It's close enough.
It's close.
And we've seen that struggle on several Drag Race franchises now, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
And she on the lighter side of the dark skin side. Exactly. So that's even worse when you at a darker side of the dark skin side.
Oh, if you're like a la the skin tone that Lana is, incredibly difficult.
Almost impossible. Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Almost impossible.
But it scores.
Please. Do I have to say it? Over freaking flowing.
Duh.
I'm gonna give her 87.
I can't stand you. I'm gonna give it
87.
It's that's good for me. That's good for me. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Dave.
I'm not.
We own you. Look, we are on you today. Okay. Cristian, I kind of lived for this look. I ain't gonna lie. You can agree with me or not. I lived for this look. It was something about the horns for me that did it for me. And then she pulled out the pepper and ate it. And I was like, okay, mama. Yes, mom. Yes, mama. I love this look. I lived for it. I love a spicy cowgirl, rodeo queen-esque type ride the bull kind of girl. It was good. I loved it.
I really like this too. I think it looks great on her. And I think, did she mention Christina Aguilera about the hair? I'm pretty sure she mentioned
think Valentina or somebody said that. I don't know if it was her.
I totally got that.
Walking the runway.
Okay.
They were like, Christina Peralta or whatever.
Okay, because there's such a specific era of Christina Aguilera when she had the blonde hair and she had like red highlights.
Yep.
It's very
Dirty.
late 2000.
Very dirty.
Yes. And Come On Over. She had that in the Come On Over music video. But yeah, I think this just looks right on her. Like, and red is a great color on her.
This was, you're right. This is more the come on over phase because this is when she was first. It was the genie in the bottle. Come on over. Yeah. Because by the time she got to dirty, it was braids and it was
yes.
dirty. But it was come on over. Okay. I love Christina Aguilera, by the way. Oh,
me too.
Live. Okay. Logan.
David, I'm going to need you to lean over again.
Oh.
She did what needed to be done.
Yes, mama. Yes, mama.
This is my favorite Cristian look of the entire season.
I might have to.
I love this. It is so. Is it on the simpler side? Absolutely. Is it so impeccably done?
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's really all I have to say about it.
Scores.
I gave her an 81.
Okay.
I gave her an over freaking flowing because it's so good.
Duh.
So good.
I've dudded Cristian. So I've been harsh on her this season. I'm gonna be real honest, but
this was good. This was everything. And now we lose it. 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 Absolutely not.
It's not horrible.
It's not good either.
It's good, but it's not good enough.
Oh really?
This is not good, baby. The only good thing about that is the garter belt and the diamond garter belt and her earrings. That body part on it's just that. What is that tool in the back? That plastic looking thing in the back. Did not like the bodysuit. Did not like the pant. The panty. Her hair is good. Her hair is good. But I'm like, it is the cheapest version of a chili pepper I've never seen in my life. It was not red hot, spicy picante. It was mild. It was mild sauce. It was so mild, David would eat it. And David don't like nothing spicy. And he don't like nothing.
I don't even do mild salsa, to be honest.
It's like ketchup. It was like ketchup. That
I
was
definitely don't do ketchup.
Anything non-spicy that you eat. You could eat it. That's how mild this was. It was
it was a bell pepper. I could do a bell pepper.
Yeah, it was a bell pepper there.
Probably not.
It was a bell pepper. So
it was a green bell pepper. Probably not.
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought this was good, but just the standard tonight was so much higher than what this is. Like even when they had all 5 of them standing on the runway, everybody looked so big and extravagant in what they were wearing. And then she looks like so tiny. Like even with the train behind her, she still looks so small. Only her hair was slightly big. But I still I like it enough. Like I'm trying to not judge it necessarily against everybody else, but judge it based on what it is. So I thought it was good, but nothing special.
It was fine. Wildly enough, this was not the worst look of the week, in my opinion.
It was for me.
I get that. For me, it's not, but I think it's
for me. It was
fair. It's fine. I like the hair. The bodysuit fits well. It's just it's boring, and that's how I felt about Regina's drag this whole season.
That's not fair.
No,
she's had some really good looks.
She's had some really good looks, but for the most part, I do agree with the judges. Fashion is not her strong suit, and I'm left whelmed after most of her runways. That Maria Felix runway is still the best thing she's worn all season. I will stand by that. But it's not bad. It's not great. Scores.
I gave this a 40. I did not like this at all.
Okay, I gave it a 73.
I'm going to give her a 70.
Wow. Y'all are generous. But that was ketchup.
Well, when Gala Varo is sitting right
and
there.
this is, I mean, she's not getting higher than a 41 because this was bad too. This was horrible. Like
I strongly disagree.
I did not. It was fitting. It was cut wrong. It does not fit well. It doesn't look good. Like the feathers on the bottom is. It just wasn't good. And at first I was like, I didn't like the hair, but then they showed the bottom. I was like, oh, it matches the orange feathers at the bottom. Okay, well, still don't like it. It's just, it just didn't look good on her. Honestly, she was, yeah, I didn't like it.
No, so my only real issue is that it was a little bit loose fitting. Like I noticed that before Lolita even said it, but I do like everything else about it. Like I really like the colors, like how they're blocked, and it really does give that flame effect for me. And yeah, I just think she really pulled this off for me. Like it could have been a little bit better if it was just tailored a little bit better, but even the materials look really good to me. The only other issue that I had eventually was I noticed you could see her hairline in the back. So maybe cover up the wig a little, cover your hair with the wig a little bit better. But other than that, I like this a lot.
She hasn't posted it on Instagram yet. So
she don't even like it. She don't even like it.
It's just been a day.
This episode, this statement I'm about to make, I'm gonna bet good money this is not her gown and she borrowed it from one of her sisters, because the fit issues were just so evident. And it's like, this is meant for, I would say this is probably meant for a queen shorter than her, because everything hit at a weird point. Where the skirt cuts off hits like at this weird, almost like vajazzle level, and the arms look weird, and it feels like the sleeves should go down to like the elbow, but it doesn't because she's tall, and it feels like the feathers should be on the floor completely, and instead they were kind of not. And even the wig doesn't fit in the back. I love Gala. Just this is not it for me, mama.
No, this didn't do it. This was not good.
Of course.
I said it, 41. She gets just higher than Regina on this one. Mm-mm.
I'm giving her an 80.
Wow.
So nice.
I liked it.
Good. Good on you, guy.
It's a 30.
Ooh. All right.
David, I'm going to need you to lean over one more time, because last up is Lady Kero, and ma'am, hello, yes, thank you, pities, that's all I have.
I think this is the time when her big breastplate worked. She looks so good in this. It's the hourglass figure we're getting. It's fitting perfectly. Everything is hitting. Those sleeves, my God. Talking about drama in those sleeves, and that hair just matches the red. This is the best I've seen Lady Kero look. This is my favorite look from Lady Kero. I think she looks sensational. It works. Everything works. Everything works.
I swear to God, David.
So this might be a little controversial. This was my favorite of the night.
Yes, it should be.
Yes.
I was genuinely about to never podcast with you again. And
no, I mean, the way you all were talking about Matraka, I was like, oh, this might be your all's favorite, but I actually like Lady Kero's the best. This is so
gorgeous and stunning and beautiful, but when Lady Kero is standing right there,
My eyes just kept going to her. I'll be honest, like for me, she's been kind of the clear fifth place among these five. It kind of felt like she was gonna go, and there have been times where I'm like, could maybe we have switched her out for like something? I'm so glad she made it this far just so we could see this, because this is by far my favorite thing she's worn this season. And it's one of my favorite things I've seen from anybody this season. And not only that, not only does it look beautiful on her, I mean, like the smallest details look incredible, but her delivery of it in that trip, I love, and the blood just pouring out. I was like, oh my God, girl, come on. I really love this.
She gave me everything.
Remember when we said in the cast assessment that we were not sure about her and we said she might go home early?
She's out first.
She has. I'm so glad we got to see this look. I'm so glad this wasn't just an Instagram look that we got to see later, that we actually got to see it on the runway and on the stage, and she performed it beautifully. I don't care what nobody say. This was one of the best looks of the entire night. And if y'all don't agree with us on that, y'all can fight with your mama, because go fight with the ball, because this was beautiful. This was stunning.
Go fight with a pepper.
Go fight with a pepper, because we're not having it. She was stunning. Y'all know, you already know, she is overflowing at the bottom of the ocean with this look.
I'm gonna give her 91.
Wow.
This is the best look of the season so far.
Duh.
Like, period. I don't even need to say anything else. This is the best look of the season so far.
She looks so good. She looks so good. I was very impressed with this look. Ugh, I can't.
I feel like if anyone else had done even remotely subpar, she might have been safe.
If she would have made us laugh twice, 2 times in your challenge, just give me 2 laughs. She did not. If she would have made us laugh 2 times, Gala would have been going home. 2 times.
So, winner, Cristian.
Deserved.
Deserved. Deserved.
Factoring in challenge and runway,
We'd love to see epiphanies on the podcast.
I do still think Regina Voce, Queen of the Universe, had the best performance for me, but that runway just was not it.
That just brought it all the way down.
Jan's runway, no. So, yeah. So, and bottom 2, Gala and Kero.
Understood. It was right. The lip sync of it all.
Oh, this lip sync. De Mi Enamorate by Daniela Romo. Oh.
Were they trying to make me cry?
David, I swear. David Healy.
It was good. It was fine. It didn't do much for me. I just immediately, the style of song reminded me of the finale lip sync in season 1 of Drag Race España.
You can't compare this to Carmen Farala.
I know. But I was like, oh, are we going to get that level of emotion and passion? And they both gave us emotion and passion. It was just not on that level for me. So I liked it. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to.
I mean, that song on España was just heartbreakingly, disturbingly beautiful. And it was just like, oh.
Oh, yeah, you have seen that lip sync, Lana.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I don't know where, but okay. Can I be honest?
Yes. Because if you're honest, it's like, I thought so too.
There was no universe they were going to keep her over Gala.
No.
It is very clear that they wanted the top 4 to be Cristian, Regina, Gala, and Matraka. I get it. I understand. It's fine. Lady Kero did it for me in this lip sync.
I thought it was really close.
I think she might be my favorite lip syncer this season. because both times we've seen her lip sync have just been so
Matraka's right there.
I'm aware. I am fully aware. Matraka is right there. Gala Varo is right there. And I'm not saying Gala did a bad job in this lip sync.
No.
For me, I love a queen that can just emote.
Yep.
And I get that from Matraka and I get that from Gala, but I really get that from Lady Kero. She is
the cheese stands alone. I'm the only person dissenting from this opinion. She's very good at lip syncs, but not my favorite.
I mean, but in this lip sync, you thought Gala won?
I thought they were like pretty dead even. So I probably would have kept Gala just for potential. Gala has some wins. Lady Kero does not. So
yeah.
Lady Kero, for me, I couldn't keep my eyes off of her. And so for me, I felt like she
bring in an extra person for the makeover next week.
But it's fine. It's fine.
You have an alternate, probably.
It's fine. It is. We've been new.
She would have had to win this challenge.
Yes.
Outright with nobody else doing anywhere close to as well as she would have done.
And then I would have thought then they'd turn around and try to send Matraka home because they still want Regina and Cristian and Gala in this final. And that would have just
ugly.
That would have just made me like scream and go to Mexico, even though it's been filmed already.
I want to say,
and not in Mexico.
And not in Mexico.
Lady Kero has grown on me on this season in a way that I have not experienced with a Drag Race queen from Meet the Queens to elimination in a long time. I really have just fallen absolutely in love with her and her drag and her passion and her love for everything. I'm so happy that I know of her. I hope this entire cast makes it to DragCon next year because I would love to meet all of them. But just there's something about Lady Kero for me that I just have fallen in love with, and I'm so happy she was here.
Yeah, she was good. Agreed.
So, 5th place, Rob Goddess. Hello, it happens every season. Next week. Not the finale, because it's a 12-episode season, and it's a makeover.
I'm excited. I think this group can be really good with makeovers.
It seems interesting.
I'm a little nervous for Gala.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
So, I completely forgot to do a draft update for this episode.
That's okay.
Lana's been leaving. All you need to know.
Because Cristian won.
By how much? Who knows?
You had the top 2 of the night.
period.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure according to this, they just have Matraka as safe. I am going to look at that really quick. That's not the challenge I want to look at. Oh, no, they do have Matraka as low.
That makes sense based on.
She won the mini challenge, so things are going to balance out, and she is going to end up with a positive net score.
But so did Regina, yeah.
Well, Regina, they have placed as high.
I know, but she also won the mini
challenge, so she gets more points for that too. Yes. Mini challenge wins, high. Christina wins.
Can you tell I don't care about this draft anymore?
I know. I care, but Lana's running away with it.
I'm gonna win it. I'm winning. I'm winning this draft.
All of them except for Down Under.
Oh no, Down Under, I'm done. Down Under, I'm done. Now.
You're literally the first one out.
No, I'm done. I'm out. You know, you got to. It has to be a balance in this world. I can't win everything, so I'll take this loss, but still love for Rita Minion and Emma. They're still Team Lana, and I still love them both.
Yes.
Period. But
with all that being said, thank you so much for joining us for our 9th review of the season of Drag Race Mexico. We will be back next week with episode 10. 3 more weeks of Drag Race Mexico. We're very excited. You know what? I'm sad to see the season end. I am happy to see this season end because I think we're at a good point. The top 4 is very strong. The top 5 was very strong. The top 6 was very strong. The top 7 was strong.
Everybody was strong.
It was a good season.
Good.
Make sure to hit all of the buttons on your preferred audio or visual platform that say you support us because we love having your support and we love you. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod for all of your most up-to-date cup news and our funny moments, such as our Rest in Peace Cat Treats. We're funny sometimes.
I'm
David
sure you're going to see our puppet on the next coming out
probably.
soon.
I think I'm
Yeah.
getting it together probably. While you're down in the description following us on social media, make sure to get your cup merch, link in the description below. And also while you're down there, make sure to follow the three of us because we're fun, we're cool. We get tea sometimes from viewers, which is fun and lovely and wonderful.
Keep giving us the tea, y'all. Keep giving us all the tea.
Love it. And with that, adios.
Adios.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.